y'all, I'm Clarissa, Eastworks Community Impact Manager, and I'm here today talking with CoThinkk, one of our community partners.
I'm Tracey Greene-Washington. I'm the founder of CoThinkk and a native of Asheville, North Carolina. CoThinkk itself is a social change philanthropy organization, and when I talk about social change philanthropy, I'm talking about these values that related to centering those that are most impacted by this work. I'm talking about the values of equity. I'm talking about the values of inclusion, getting to systemic issues, and talking about innovation. And we are structured as a giving circle. And when I talk about a giving circle, I'm talking about an organization that uses its time, talent, and treasure in service to supporting transformational change. CoThinkk is led by African American and Latinx leaders in service to really shifting the narrative for communities of color in Asheville and Western North Carolina. We have a strategic focus of really focusing on systems change work, racial equity, and being able to shift and create supportive networks that have the power to really be able to move transformational change. When I think about CoThinkk's work, we have 4 strategic pathways that allow us to do our work. One is around healing, because the reality is if you can't heal together, you can't see each other, then you can't trust each other, then you definitely can't share your resources with each other, right? The other pathway that we focus on is resources, and really thinking about how we create access and inclusion for communities of color to be able to have the resources that they need to do the powerful work that they do in our communities. And I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about systems change, right? Because it's all about how do we shift those conditions around systems. When I'm talking about systems change, I'm talking about the mental models. I'm talking about resource flows. I'm talking about relationships. I'm talking about policies and practices in our communities that have to be shifted in order for us to do the equity work and the transformational work that we do in our community. And I say the last piece of our work is that we really focus on capacity building, right? Through coaching and providing coaching and supportive services for our community members, our peers, our grantee partners as we move forward.
My name is Libby, and I am the Director of Community-Led Grant Making at TEDx Social Justice Fund. I'm also a co-founder of YTL Training Programs, which is Youth Transform for Life, and just an all-around active community member, loving my community. I came to CoThinkk in 2014 when we first started building together, and CoThinkk is really the energy in my life. It helps me to be more active in community and to sow into myself and into others.
My name is Niconda Garcia. I'm a 5th generation Asheville native. I am a local entrepreneur and recent consultant as my newest venture. Initially, CoThinkk was a place of respite. And so I joined CoThinkk and started that healing process. As one of the 4 strategic pathways, healing is one of them. And so in CoThinkk, I found genuine relationships. I found authenticity. I found a community that really cared about my well-being and reciprocity. And so for me, that's what CoThinkk is.
We're excited about our work that we're doing. And over the last couple of years, we've been able to invest over $200,000 back into community from grassroots leaders to grassroots leaders. That's just a positive win-win for us.
For me, one of the things that I think is really unique about CoThinkk is the way that they give, with seeding ideas and seeding innovation without all of the barriers that we see in traditional grants and traditional funding streams.
You know, one of the reasons CoThinkk is so important is because we focus on a couple of different things. Number one, teaching each other that we are not just grantees, but we are grantors. We are philanthropists, and it's important to have an organization in CoThinkk that uplifts Black and brown people who are doing the hard work, who often don't get funded. And so CoThinkk provides an opportunity for visibility for organizations that might not otherwise be seen. The other thing that's really amazing about CoThinkk is that we are a support. So it's not just about doing something one time or one day, it's about being here for our community every day.
Some subsequent things that I never thought would come out of this was a lot of consultant work. The networks that I made with CoThinkk allowed for a lot of community opportunities, like volunteer opportunities, and people saw the value in my volunteer work and wanted to hire me on doing consultant work.
If you could pick 3 words, 3 big words of what CoThinkk aspires to do in 5 years, what would those 3 words be?
We have to embrace process as strategy in doing our work, and that's something that CoThinkk is constantly doing. What are the things that we're seeing? Where does community need? What is community saying to us? What do we need to be paying attention to? Where are the blind spots? What's happening nationally? What's happening across the globe? And so we're trying to take all those things in so that we're adaptive, we're evolving, and so the reality is I don't know where we're going to be in 5 years. I will say I have a wish list. I would love for CoThinkk to be able to grow a $500,000 equitable grant-making fund to be able to support systemic change, because we know that this type of work really requires us to do deep investments. So if you're interested in that, I would love for that to be one of the goals in the next 5 years. We're excited about what's to come. We're excited about you partnering with us. We're excited about how we evolve in support of supporting transformational change in our community and in our region.